Another major story we're covering right now, a massive hurricane churning in the Atlantic. Joaquin is now an extremely dangerous Category 4. The sheer size of this system can be seen from space as it lashes the Bahamas with brutal winds and storm surge. And whether it makes landfall in the U.S. or turns out to sea, it will wreak havoc up and down the eastern seaboard, potentially historic flooding. Right now, there is a state of emergency in at least 5 states, and this storm will hit on top of another storm already dumping torrential rain, triggering flash floods from north to south. In a moment, we'll get the latest forecast from Al Roker, but first to NBC's Gabe Gutierrez in North Carolina's Outer Banks as the East Coast prepares. Gabe?
Lester, good evening. Nearly all of North Carolina is under a flood watch. The surf is picking up here, so is the wind. And this is an area that is used to big storms, but this could be a 1-2 punch. An already drenched East Coast now bracing for historic rain and wind that will drag on for days. Parts of South Carolina slammed with 5 inches of rain, the fast rising water flooding roads and submerging cars. One person killed, another rescued when this road washed away, causing a massive sinkhole. All this because of something called a Rex block, a weather pattern with a high pressure front above a low pressure front, virtually locking it in place, dumping large amounts of rain near the low pressure. In this case, heavy downpours will begin in the Carolinas and parts of the mid-Atlantic tonight and last for at least 3 days. The heavy surf already eroding beaches is expected to bring fierce rip currents and extreme rain.
I cannot stress enough that we are talking about the real possibility of deadly flooding.
This afternoon, about 1,000 visitors were evacuated from an island on the Outer Banks. All this erosion happened within the past week or so?
The loss of the dune happened within the last 2 weeks.
Kitty Hawk Mayor Gary Perry is used to big storms, but he's preparing for the worst.
We're just doing the best we can to manage and get ready for it, and then we'll deal with the aftermath.
North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and New Jersey, all under a state of emergency. Much of the East Coast bracing for 2 rounds of torrential rain, even if Joaquin doesn't make landfall as a hurricane. The National Guard here is on alert, and local emergency management officials here in North Carolina plan to meet tomorrow morning to decide whether to issue more mandatory evacuations. Lester.
Gabe Gutierrez tonight.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and then click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.